Morning world, welcome to Monday 26th of June and some rather nervous tree guys. This morning's job that the guys are supposed to be attending has had to be postponed because of parked cars. There's cars parked where they are working and we don't know whose car it is and we cannot get them moved. So I've had to find them something to do back here at the farm. And now the cattle are going to attack a walker. I'll come back to that. It's all a bit exciting, isn't it? I see, the walkers are more interesting than I am, obviously. Saved by the Ramblers. You've been saved by the Ramblers.
Well, the bull's over there.
Ah, the bull's no problem. No. Yeah, he's a big softie.
No, they just get really excited and they start like flailing their legs around.
Yeah, that's because you're giving them something interesting to eat.
We were giving them 3/4 meal and they still followed us.
That's because you were making all that noise.
Yeah.
You know.
That's nice.
Is that what? I don't know. Chipper's noisier than a saw.
Yeah. It's 178.
Oh, that young steer. He's a little bugger. He is. Yeah. He will. He'll knock you over. It's a game of push me, shove you.
Yeah.
So you shove him, he'll push you.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm having to go around the trees now with because of knocking the mirrors on the tractor.
Yeah.
Have they changed their mind yet? No, they're still going up there. So.
It's a long field, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, don't worry about chipping the rest of it. Just literally leave it down, and then we'll come back in a day or so and do it. But they might as well have it. They might as well eat it. So.
It. Literally, they're coming that close to us. They're like, "Nah, I don't care about you."
Yeah.
Who's that, Mr. Dyson?
Mr. Dyson.
Because he always goes over and then back. Over back. Yeah.
Don't know. Might be. Might be. Just because he can.
Branish, was it?
No, he hasn't got a helicopter. Yeah, not that I'm aware of, anyway.
No, he's got a jet instead.
Yeah.
There's a helipad in the back quarter. Yeah.
Yeah, they got a helicopter landing spot up there.
Well, I say a helipad, it's a bit of grass.
I got a helipad landing spot. It's wherever he feels like it out here.
Got anyone landing there?
Yeah, we had Harrods Air land there a couple of years ago. When the house was up for sale on the top of the hill last time, we had some young entrepreneur from London wanted to go and have a look at it, 1,000 acres, yeah. And Harrod Air rang us and said, "Can we come and land in your field?" And I said, yeah, I shut the cattle out. They landed in the field, and then the guy got in my Land Rover, I took him up there.
Yeah.
He was a young, mid-20s. He'd built this bloody online company and sold it for 15 million or something, and then wanted to buy a house, so, because his mum lived somewhere around here, so. Yeah, Captain Gorgeous, because the two pilots stayed down here, my missus made up a cup of tea, and apparently he was the nicest smelling man that my missus had ever met, so she called him Captain Gorgeous.
What, even more smelly than Michael? Fucking what?
Yeah, yeah, but he smelt nice.
I mean, you flipping what?
Yeah, he smelt nice, yeah, Captain Gorgeous and his co-pilot. Because I remember he was late back, they had a window because they were flying back into London. Yeah. There's a helicopter pad in the middle of London, you have to book your slot. And if you're late, it's like 10 grand or something. And he didn't care. Yeah. I don't care if I'm late. Yeah. Yeah, so it's very nice. So a very nice lady from Harrods there. In fact, I kept the telephone number just in case I ever fancy a lift into London. So, yeah, it was a very nice helicopter.
Yeah, I bet.
Yeah, burgundy and cream, I think it was. Yeah, Harrods Air. Yeah. Okay, right. that. I like that bit of lime. Yummy.
Well, a good bit, is it?
Well, I'm not too sure about them eating the seeds, but there's not much of it. They'll go in there and destroy that in about 2 minutes. Poor Ewan. I got a funny feeling he didn't actually notice the cattle approach him, because of course he had his helmet and his ear defenders on. And while they were working, I think it was on that lime tree over there, he kind of turned around and the bull was right behind him. Made him jump. Apparently he hid behind the truck. Only temporarily, you know. He became brave a few seconds later, but I think it was just the shock of this big thing with horns right behind him. Anyway. Crows have been busy down here, pulling the poos apart, which isn't actually a bad thing for me. I would sooner have them pulled apart because they won't kill the grass then. Basically it's black feathered chain arrows. So this is like a little straw here. There's nothing very, there's food, there's stuff for them to graze, but it's already a bit short. And it's dry. There's not much green in it, so it's a bit chewy. It's not very palatable. They're not happy out here, which is probably why they were rather keen to get into those succulent young leaves. So what we decided now is we're not going to chip anymore. We're basically we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 more trees to do around the outside. We're gonna just cut the branches off, leave them down. The cattle can go and browse those, take the leaves off it, and then we'll come back out in 2 days' time with the chipper. They'll go around and just chip it up. So there's no point in wasting it. It's feed for the cattle, and it makes them happy. Here they come. I understand why some folks find cattle intimidating, but you have got to remember that 99.9% of it is simply curiosity. They're just nosy. We had a couple walk down the other day. I watched them walk down, the cattle right there, and as soon as they got here, the cattle thundered over and met them at the gate, probably hoping that they were going to open another gate. They didn't open it, they leapt straight over the top of it, and then walked up that side, which is kind of fair enough. I wasn't going to shout at them for it, but hello mate, hello. But yeah, you've got to remember that usually with cattle, all right, they know me, but if you just keep walking, they'll get out of the way. So the one thing you mustn't do is start running, because right now I'm a curiosity. They're just interested. Oh, who's that? What's he doing? Where's he going? Is he going to open a gate somewhere? So I did actually say that to a couple of walkers a while ago. If you're walking in a field like this, and most footpaths go from gate to gate, well, if the gate you're heading towards has better grass behind it than the field you're in, the cattle will definitely follow you, because they're hoping that you're going to open that gate. They're not really that interested in you, although you're a curiosity. They want to go into the next field, and if you're going to the gate, they know that humans open gates. So, and they will follow you. And there's nothing mean or nasty about it. It's just a case, is he going to open that gate? Or is she going to open that gate? Oh, let's hope they open the gate. And quite often, they'll get to the gate before you, and they're there going, open the gate. And you're thinking, they're stopping me from going through the gate. They're not stopping you. They actually want you to go through the gate. That's what they want you to do. And preferably leave it open. Don't do that, by the way. Don't do that. You never know if a piece of ground beyond has been sprayed, got some chemical on it, or has got something in there that is poisonous for them. Never open gates into another field. If you don't know what it's about, if you find a gate shut, you leave it shut. So, but yeah, cattle are big, they're noisy, they can be a bit boisterous sometimes, and even just being followed like this to some people is intimidating. But don't run. Literally, if you stop, they won't touch me. There's a boundary, and it's as close as they'll come. and that's it. They'll stay there. If you move back, they'll follow you. But if you stop, they will stop. Unless, of course, somebody butts them up the ass. But, yeah. And of course, if you walk forward a bit, they'll go backwards. They'll get out of your way. Well, he might not. He's busy. Is she interested? Is it? We don't want any pornography. So, right. Excuse me, thank you. Excuse me, thank you. Move it, thank you. Go on, move it, thank you. Keep going. I saw that. So, yeah, you got to be aware of the back end, but that's sometimes it's playful and sometimes it's just instinct. There's something they don't trust behind them, they'll kick out. So, yeah, they're not out to hurt you. But if you become a toy, if you run, you're carrying bags, worst thing you can do, never carry bags across a field of cattle, because farmers feed cattle from bags and you might have something really delicious in there. And why aren't you putting it on the floor? Go on, drop it and go away. And if you drop your bag, they'll probably stop and sniff your bag and empty it, destroy it. Yeah. Avoid carrying bags across cattle. It's just knowing the beast. See, I've ceased to be interesting because the gate I'm going to doesn't go anywhere. Right, go and see Dave if I can open the door. He's in there doing the skim on the plaster right now, so if he's right behind the door, I won't be able to. But if he's not, well, I better call in and say hello. I can use my knocker. Knock, knock.
Playing with my knockers again.
Hey?
Playing with my knockers again.
Yeah. You get a little shine on it?
No, it's only first trial.
How's it? Do you ever get that urge, like when your mother's just made a cake and she's iced it and it all looks like you just want to stick your finger in the icing and go...
Depends how fat a fucking lip you want.
Welcome back, folks. It's 24 minutes past 4 in the afternoon and unfortunately I've got to go do some work. Don't get me wrong, I don't mind doing some work, but this is what you would call the non-exciting stuff. I've got to go and look at an oak tree in someone's front garden. I think it overhangs the main road as well, with a view to making it smaller. So we're going to go and do that. Then I'm going to come home. I've got a little job to do at home. Then I'm going to Dursley to look at a walnut tree actually. And then I'm coming home. And then if I've got something interesting to do after that, you can come back and join me while I do that thing that is more interesting than looking at trees. Yeah. And that is one of the reasons I will never ever be a millionaire. So that's the second time in 10 years this particular customer's called me and asked me to come and look at their oak tree. And it's the second time in 10 years that I've told them it doesn't need anything doing to it. And anybody who tells them otherwise, that it does, is literally taking money for old rope. So lots of folks have trees and they're justifiably wary of issues that can happen with regards to liabilities and bits falling off and accidents and subsidence and heave and claims and all that sort of stuff. And there are those companies out there who will take advantage of that. And even though we're not that busy, and the client just offered to pay me just to go out and see him and speak to him and reassure him. And I said, look, at the end of the day, my payment, as far as I'm concerned, I don't want anything financial. My payment is every time I drive past that tree, and I have been doing it up to now, and I'll do it again now, it is again going on, is that that tree is there, untouched, unmolested, just left to do its own devices, and I can, in myself, I can claim a bit of responsibility for that. So there is a bit of damage to the stem on the roadside of this particular oak tree, and that's down to a road traffic collision, road traffic accident, I still call it RT8. About 15 years ago, there was quite a bad crash there, and somebody wrote their car off. I don't know if it was a fatality or not, but taken a big piece of bark and bit into the sapwood of the tree. So about 25% of the base of the tree has no bark, and there is some very, very minor sapwood decay on the inside, but there is no fungal brackets, no mycelia, no bootlaces, no trace of any ingress of any other decaying pathogens in the tree. The upper crown of the tree is perfectly healthy. It is uniform all over. It's got a uniform density of leaf size, leaf density. Throughout the entire crown tree, there's a couple of cavities further up, but to be honest, it's an oak tree. It was reduced probably 25 years ago, and in that 25 years, it has put on probably about 16 feet. So not massive regeneration, not huge vigor and vitality, but again, it's in my humble opinion, doesn't need anything. So, and I said to him basically, I'll see him again in 10 years time, and he was happy enough with that. So I did say that if his other half was still concerned about it, she could go down the routes of a tomograph, Picus tomograph, which basically is a system which more or less takes an X-ray of the inside of the tree, takes a slice. So if they're concerned about the potential decay, they can do a tomograph, or they can get somebody and do something called a resistograph, which is basically a drill, and with a very long, thin drill, which basically measures how much pressure, how much torque is required to drill a 3mm hole at a set speed to a set depth, and that also can give a pretty good and immediate indication of any decay. So to be honest, I went round with me tapping stick, and I tapped all about. There is no ringing, there is no hollowness, the whole thing is solid. So I basically said, in my opinion, looking at it visually, just with a hammer and a probe, which happens to be my penknife, that's all it needed, the tree seems to be perfectly okay. So, and to keep his money in his pocket. I'm getting good at this. So that's second job I've had a look at, which was stressed walnut tree. So walnut's definitely unhappy. Lots of very small deadwood throughout the crown. No stem damage, no signs of decay, no signs of any impact or harm, but I think that may well be down to the position of the tree, which is at the base of a retaining wall and next to a building, and I think a lot of it is drought stress. So along with that, there's obviously an awful lot of traffic on the lawn, so compaction, which means that when there is any rain, any precipitation, it's not going in the ground. So I think the tree is surviving on groundwater coming up rather than rainwater going down. So yeah, so I've told the customer what they can do to alleviate that, which is basically got to break up the turf a bit. So whether it's going out there with a garden fork and getting down and just breaking it, which is a labour intensive job, and or mulching, or get somebody with an air spade or any type of aeration. But that would be an expensive undertaking, and quite possibly won't do an awful lot. Not this year anyway. Maybe next year, the year after, you might see some difference, but yeah. And then a Norway spruce, which is covering their car in needles and detritus, and they wanted the top out of that, and I basically talked them out of that as well. I said, the thing is with a Norway spruce, which is basically a Christmas tree, they're not really a small garden tree, and they're definitely not something you want to park your car underneath. I said, but apart from shedding its needles, which it's going to do naturally as it grows and gets bigger and spreads, it's going to throw needles every year. And it's a case of you either don't park your car underneath it, or if it's that bad, I mean, we're talking a 45-foot tree, if it's that bad, just take it down. There's no point, there's no benefit for what they wanted to just take the top out of. So, especially as we've already done it once. So we've been here before, and we did take the top out last time, and now they're right back to where we were 5 years ago. So I think at the moment, so we're gonna just leave both trees for the time being. Neither of them are doing any real harm. There's a bit of deadwood in the walnut tree. I have said to her, don't stand underneath it on a stormy day, because those little bits of dead will come out. Be unlucky to get hit by one, but it's not impossible, and there's no point in pushing your luck. So yeah, as far as the tree company is concerned today, the phone's been okay. The phone's been ringing, and people have been asking us to go out and look. But the two, what could have been big jobs, you know, they would have been a day each. I basically told the customers they don't need it doing. So yeah, like I said earlier, I'll never be a millionaire. Not out of the tree company anyway. Some cheeky git's gone and changed their bike to my gate. Fortunately, we don't need to come here for a bit. I thought I'd come have a quick look at the Neighbours maze, which is desperately in need of a drink. Okay, so that area there is where the muck heap was. So whether there's a bit more moisture in the ground there from when the muck heap was there, I don't know. It's retaining it better, but it should all be like that. I mean, this is belly button high, but a lot of it is not even knee high. You can definitely see the differences in the ground though. I might fly the drone over here and take some photographs. Looks better than the little paddock over there, but this is in dire need of some rain. Not a terrific amount of weed. I mean, that's probably one of the upsides of not enough rain. Let's cut the weed down, and if there's any leather jackets in there, hopefully they're being starved. Yeah, not a great start for the crop though. Bit disappointing that, but still, you can't help the weather, can you? I've got a cow down here making a right racket, so she's obviously been separated from her calf somehow. So a quick investigation is in order. What is the noise about? What's the noise about then, eh? What's she bellowing for? I can't see a calf out anywhere. A lot lot of insects around, but I can't see a lost cow there. Oh, they've been chewing me blooming Scots pine trees, the buggers. No, I don't want them doing that really. What is she making all that noise for? Make sure nothing's stuck in the ditch. Stuck in the pond. I've no idea why she's making that racket. None. What's the noise about then? Hey, what is it all about? Not down in there, is he? Is it you making that racket? Can't see anything. Mystery. I have no idea why she's making all that racket. But I've spotted a ragwort, so we're going to go and have that quickly. Or do I need the fork for you? Probably need the fork for you, don't I? Will you come up? Oh yeah. Another one over there. I'm half expecting to see a calf running up and down wrong side of a fence or something. I mean, the fence here is pretty good. It's only a few years old. We'll have you as well. Yeah. Yeah. I pulled a half a dozen more ragwort while I was out here. Got a bit of sap on my lens as well, so I do not know what she was bellowing about. Everybody seems to be here, present and correct, safe and sound. Right, mate. False alarm there. Actually, I'll have you. on here. Yeah. That'll do. Come on up. Come on. Just come down to see if the cattle have finished stripping all those branches that the lads cut down earlier. I thought I might as well give them a run while I'm at it. Yeah, that's pretty stripped, as is that. I don't reckon they liked that quite so much. I think even the tree leaves are a bit dry and bitter. So apparently there's a split up in here. One of these is threatening to fall. Not sure if I can see it from here. So we semi-pollarded this ash tree 5-6 years ago. We didn't want to do a full pollard on it, but I think it might be nearly time to do it again. Thing is, while it's dry, the tree's under enough stress now without giving it any more. But yeah, I think somewhere here there's one of the branches this side anyway, there was a split in it, and Martin said it might be that one. There was a chance the branch falling across. Well, of course, if the branch goes across my fence and the cattle get out, then that becomes an issue. So one day this week there's a good chance we're going to come down, do a bit more with this chap. The idea is this is an old veteran ash, completely hollow, but the habitat value is, well, it's huge. So we will maintain and keep it for as long as we can. Okay. I needed this chap off here as well, so that's just scraping the roof of my tractor now, which I don't want. So I don't have many oak trees on the farm, so the three main ones, that one there, and the one at the hedge. We got youngsters, young oaks, but nothing that's sort of over 100 years old, just these guys. So I don't want to do any more than I have to. We'll keep that to a minimum if we can. So, right, I think I might have to put the mower on and go over this. I get the feeling they're going to meet me at the gate up there. You coming through there? Come on then. Pick up. Come on. Let's go. Come on then. Come on, Pepper. Could you not keep up or something? Hey? You're carrying a foot.